A Man Like None Other Chapter 31 to Chapter 40. Scarface was stunned for a while, then he slowly took out his mobile phone and called Lin Tianhu. He didn't know who Chen Ping was, but he didn't dare to let him call Lin Tianhu. Soon, the phone was connected, and Lin Tianhu's lazy voice came from the opposite side. Obviously, it was time, and Lin Tianhu still didn't get up. Master Tiger, someone is coaxing in the antique street, saying that he knows you, let me call you. Scarface said cautiously. Who are you? What's your name? Lin Tianhu asked. I don't know what his name is, but he wears a copper ring on his hand with a dragon on it, and it seems that there is a command word, ask me if I recognize it. Scarface said. Grass. Lin Tianhu jumped off the bed with a squeak when he heard it. Scarface, let me tell you, you have served this man for a long time, if you dare to make him unhappy, I will kill you. Your whole family, you remembered it for me. After Lin Tianhu finished speaking, he hung up the phone, put on his clothes, and hurried towards Antique Street. Scarface listened to the busy voice on the other side, and his expression changed. He had followed Lin Tianhu for more than 10 years, and he had never seen Lin Tianhu in such a panic. Putting down the phone, Scar's face looked at Chen Ping, and the whole person was shaking like a sieve. Brother Scar, this guy is just talking nonsense. How could Master Tiger know such a stunned young man? He just lied to you, hurry up and get the jade back. The fat stall owner didn't notice anything unusual about Scar's face, he looked at Chen Ping with disdain and said. Snapped. Just finished speaking, Scarface gave the fat stall owner a slap in the face. You bastard, what nonsense is, it's obviously you who buy and sell, don't think I don't know, I think you don't want to stay here anymore. The fat stall owner was slapped in the face by the Scar, and he was directly slapped in a circle. He didn't know what happened, but some shrewd people seemed to see something at this time, and knew that Chen Ping must have a very hard backstage. Sir, I'm really sorry just now, you rest first, our Tiger Lord will be here soon. Scar followed Chen Ping with a flattering face. He didn't know Chen Ping, and he didn't know that Chen Ping was the master of their Tianlong Palace. In fact, many members of Zhuyi Hall didn't even know that they were members of the Tianlong Palace. These were all secrets, and only a few insiders knew about them. As soon as Chen Ping heard that Lin Tianhu was coming, he planned to wait a while. He searched blindly like him, not knowing when he would find the spirit pen and cinnabar. Since Lin Tianhu is covering the antique street, he must be familiar with the things here, so Chen Ping planned to ask Lin Tianhu. Don't hurry up and bring a chair for Mr. Scarface kicked the fat stall owner fiercely. Oh! The fat stall owner was stupid, and hurriedly moved a chair from the room and let Chen Ping sit down. About 10 minutes later, there was a sudden break sound, and Lin Tianhu opened the door and ran over. Everyone looked at Lin Tianhu coming, all lowered their heads, no one dared to carry them away, while Lin Tianhu ran to Chen Ping and panted, Diane, Mr. Chen, come to Antique Street. Let me know in advance, I will accompany you, I am familiar with this area. I'm just wandering around. Chen Ping said lightly. Lin Tianhu looked at Scarface and asked, Scarface, what's going on? Scar's face wasn't very clear either, so he could only tell what he knew in 1510. Lin Tianhu was not stupid, he could understand what was going on just by guessing. Damn, using my name to cheat and kidnap here, damn it. Lin Tianhu cursed, smashed the booth, threw this guy out with broken limbs, and never allowed to enter the antique street again. When the fat stall owner heard this, he was immediately startled and slumped on the ground. Master Tiger, Lord Tiger, spare your life. The fat stall owner kept begging for mercy, but it was of no use at all. Soon screams sounded, and the fat stall owner was carried away. Everyone was so scared that their faces turned pale, especially the nearby stall owners who had just yelled at Chen Ping, and some of them were scared to pee their pants. Scarface, let these people go, What's so beautiful? Lin Tianhu said to the scarred face. Get out of here, there's nothing to see, and whoever of you dares to forcefully buy and forcefully sell in the future, this is the end. Scarface roared at everyone, scaring everyone to run away. Mr. Chen, don't know what you like? There is nothing good here, it's just some street goods, and the real good things are still inside. Lin Tianhu said to Chen Ping. I want to buy a spirit pen and cinnabar, I don't know if there are any here. Chen Ping asked Lin Tianhu. Lin Tianhu was stunned for a moment, he didn't understand what the spirit pen Chen Ping was talking about, and that cinnabar, wasn't it all over the place? But Lin Tianhu didn't dare to ask, so he could only respectfully say, Mr. Chen, I'll take you to a few antiques for a walk, you can see if there is anything you want, I don't know much about this business. Okay, lead the way. Chen Ping nodded. Lin Tianhu personally led the way, and the bosses of the antique shops took out all the treasures of the housekeeping, but none of them were favored by Chen Ping. This time, Lin Tianhu was in a bit of trouble. Mr. Chen, the antique street is so big, all the good things are here, and there is still nothing that Mr. Chen needs, or I will send the brothers to look elsewhere. No need, this kind of thing can be encountered but not asked for, even if you encounter it, it is useless if you don't know how to do it. Chen Ping waved his hand, even asking more people to look for it is useless. That's true. Lin Tianhu nodded. Go ahead, I should go back too. Since there are none, Chen Ping doesn't want to stay any longer. But just as Chen Ping was about to leave, Lin Tianhu seemed to remember something, and immediately stopped Chen Ping and said, Mr. Chen, wait a minute. Anything else? Chen Ping asked. Mr. Chen, I suddenly remembered that there is a place where there may be something you need. After Lin Tianhu finished speaking, he ordered someone to drive the car and asked Chen Ping to get in the car. In the car, Lin Tianhu introduced him. It turned out that the place he took Chen Ping to was a mansion. The owner of the mansion was Gu Wenchen, who was once a retired officer from the provincial government. After retreating, Gu Wenchen built a mansion in a beautiful place in Hongcheng, and then took care of him for a long time. However, Gu Wenchen has a hobby, that is to collect antiques. In Gu Wenchen's yard, there are antiques everywhere, some of them are bought from abroad. Compared with Gu Wenchen's house, the antique street is really not A grade. Chen Ping never thought that there was such a big man in Hongcheng. If it weren't for the fact that he had learned the skills from the old leader for 3 years, the ordinary Chen Ping would not have been able to contact these big men at all. Soon, the car stopped in a quaint house, and a servant hurried over, followed Lin Tianhu and whispered a few words, and ran back to the house. Soon, an old man with a grey beard and leaning on a cane walked out. After seeing Lin Tianhu, the old man laughed and said, It's a rare visitor to see Lord Tiger. Ancient, you are breaking me, just call me Xiaohu, or Lin Tianhu. In front of you, how dare I call myself a master? Lin Tianhu hurriedly took 2 steps forward to meet him, and said politely. The provincial government official, although he has retired, his energy is not small, so Lin Tianhu does not dare to offend him. After Gu Wenchen exchanged a few words with Lin Tianhu, he saw Chen Ping beside him, looked at him and asked, Master Hu, this young man is a little shy, is it? Oh, this is Mr. Chen. This time, I took Mr. Chen to disturb Gu, and I hope Gu will not take offense. Lin Tianhu hurriedly explained. Hearing that Lin Tianhu addressed Chen Ping, who was only in his early 20s, as Mr. Gu Wenchen's eyes flashed with surprise, but it was only fleeting. Come in, you two. Gu Wenchen nodded slightly towards Chen Ping, it was considered a greeting. In his opinion, a young descendant in his early 20s who can be called a gentleman by Lin Tianhu must be rich and powerful in his family, so he is so respected by Lin Tianhu, not because of his strength. Lin Tianhu and Chen Ping walked into Gu Wenchen's house. As soon as they entered, Chen Ping felt a burst of strong spiritual energy. There were several big trees in the yard that were thick enough to hug, blocking a large area of sunlight. Continue to walk forward, rockery and flowing water, buildings and pavilions, every place exudes a strong ancient fragrance. How old are these ancient trees? Chen Ping looked at the big trees and couldn't help asking. Because these rich auras are all emitted from these big trees. Mr. Chen, these ancient trees are all hundreds of years old. It is because of these trees that the ancient courtyard was built here. Lin Tianhe followed Chen Ping to explain. Chen Ping nodded slightly, and he understood why Gu Wenchen, a provincial official, chose to come to this little Hongcheng to live in his old age. This place has plenty of aura, which is really suitable for old age, and living here for a long time, after being nourished by aura, the body will become younger and tougher. After passing through a corridor, Gu Wenchen led Lin Tianhe and Chen Ping into the hall. The entire hall was filled with antique furniture, each with a history of over 100 years. There was even a dragon chair carved with 9 giant dragons. In the middle of the hall, there is a golden cushion on the dragon chair, and it seems that someone often sits on it. Chen Ping frowned slightly at the dragon chair, and his expression became a little weird. Sit down, you two. Gu Wenchen waved his hand casually, and then sat directly on the dragon chair. After Lin Tianhe and Chen Ping were seated, Gu Wenchen asked the servants to pour tea. Master Tiger, go to the 3 treasures hall for everything. If you need the help of this old man, just say it. Gu Wenchen knew that Lin Tianhe was coming, so he must have something to look for. Lin Tianhe looked at Chen Ping, and Chen Ping said, we know that the ancients love to collect, so we want to ask whether there are spiritual pens here in ancient times, that is, the brushes used by ancient great writers, and the cinnabar made from animal blood. Ling pen. Gu Wenchen frowned slightly in thought. Ancient, of course we won't want ancient things for nothing, as long as there is ancient here, the price is as old as possible, and I, Lin Tianhe, will never pay back. Lin Tianhe hurriedly said in order to prevent Gu Wenchen from worrying. What did Hu Ye say? Gu Wenchen smiled lightly, if I have it, it's okay to give it to you. Does money mean anything to me? Yes, yes, the ancients regarded money as dung. Lin Tianhe nodded again and again. Things like brushes are consumables, so it's almost impossible to keep used brushes. As for the cinnabar made from animal blood, I have never heard of it. Gu Wenchen shook his head, but then continued. Dao, but to find this kind of thing, maybe there are more Taoist temples than me here. After all, these Taoist priests need to draw talismans to exorcise ghosts, and the brushes they use may have spirituality. As soon as Gu Wenchen's words fell, Chen Ping was instantly overjoyed, but he forgot about it. The brushes used by the Taoists to exorcise ghosts and draw talismans must have spirituality, including the cinnabar used. Just go directly to the Taoist temple to find them. Why go to Antique Street to look around? Thank you for reminding Gu. Chen Ping got up and gave Gu Wenchen a salute. Ha ha ha, you're welcome, I just mentioned it casually. Gu Wenchen laughed. Ancient, dare to ask the dragon chair under you, where did it come from? Chen Ping asked. What? You can see how extraordinary this dragon chair is. Gu Wenchen said proudly, I bought this dragon chair from abroad with a lot of money, this is the real dragon chair, from the Ming dynasty. The thing that the real dragon and the emperor sat on it. Gu Wenchen gently stroked the dragon chair under him, and it was obvious that he liked it very much. The dragon chair is a status symbol, and it is quite imposing to sit under him. Although Gu Wenchen has collected a lot of things, this dragon chair is his favorite thing. Majesty. Ancient, I advise you to burn the dragon chair, maybe you can live longer. Chen Ping persuaded Gu Wenchen. What do you mean? Gu Wenchen frowned, you're so young, are you cursing me to death? Gu Wenchen was angry, if it wasn't for Lin Tianhe's face, Chen Ping wouldn't have the qualifications to enter his courtyard, and now this Chen Ping is actually speaking falsely, how can Gu Wenchen not be angry? The ancients calmed down. Mr. Chen must have his reasons for saying so. Lin Tianhu hurriedly stood up to dissuade Gu Wenshan, then looked at Chen Ping and said, "Since Mr. Chen sees some clues, I hope he can truthfully explain that Gu is not an outsider." Of course Lin Tianhu knew that Chen Ping had the ability, otherwise he would be the master of the Tianlong Palace. "Boy, you can't tell the reason today, no one can save you." Gu Wenshan snorted coldly and stood up from the dragon chair. Chen Ping was not in a hurry, and smiled lightly. "This dragon chair is really a thing of the emperor, and it is indeed a thing of the Ming dynasty, but it is a pity that this dragon chair is full of resentment. If I guessed wrong, once the emperor died on this dragon chair, otherwise there would be no such great resentment. The reason why the ancients sat on the dragon chair and didn't feel anything is because this place is full of spiritual energy and it is a land of outstanding places. It temporarily suppressed the resentment on the dragon chair, but now the 9 dragons on the dragon chair are completely resentful. Rush, if you continue to keep it, I am afraid that your life will not be long. Didn't you see that the 9 dragon heads on the dragon chair are faintly black?" After Chen Ping finished speaking, Gu Wenshan shuddered in consciousness, and hurriedly looked at his dragon chair. Sure enough, he saw that the color of the 9 dragon heads was a little different from other places, and it became a little black. "Boy, don't bluff me. This faucet's blackening is also caused by oxidation for a long time. What kind of resentment is rushing? It's just nonsense." Gu asked. The weather suddenly slapped the table and said, "If you don't believe me, forget it." Chen Ping smiled disdainfully. "I wanted to save your life for the sake of you reminding me, but you didn't appreciate it. Maybe this is your fate. Don't look at you feeling healthy now, but every night you have nightmares, dreaming that you are trapped by pythons, and finally wake up from suffocation. You have had such dreams for at least a month." After Chen Ping finished speaking, he turned around and left. "Mr. Chen." Lin Tianhu looked embarrassed and hurriedly chased after him. At this time, Gu Wenshan stood there in a daze, and now he has already shaken the river and the sea. To know what he was dreaming, he had never mentioned it to anyone. How could Chen Ping know it, and he knew it so carefully? "Wait a moment." Gu Wenshan quickly chased after him and stopped Chen Ping. "What? Am I right?" Chen Ping asked Gu Wenshan. Gu Wenshan was full of embarrassment, and finally nodded and said, "Little, Mr. Chen is right, I have been plagued by nightmares recently, and I have the same dream every day, which has been bothering me for a long time. The python in the dream is the 9 dragons on this dragon chair. Now the 9 dragons are full of grievances and have not completely turned black. If these 9 dragons turn black, even if the Luo Jingxian descends to earth, I am afraid that they will not be able to save you." Chen Ping said lightly. "Then, what should I do now?" Gu Wenshan already had confidence in Chen Ping at this time. "To burn this dragon chair, you can't burn it with ordinary fire, but use paper money to light the dragon chair, and burn it thoroughly," Chen Ping said. "This." Gu Wenshan looked at the dragon chair, his eyes filled with regret. One must know that this dragon chair took a lot of effort to buy it from abroad. It was burned. Gu Wenshan was a little reluctant, so he asked Chen Ping, "Mr. Chen, besides burning the dragon chair, is there any other way?" "Yes." Chen Ping nodded. "I can suck away the resentment on the dragon chair and eliminate these resentful dragons." When Gu Wenshan heard this, he was overjoyed, then asked Mr. Chen to do it. "Why should I help you? In your opinion, am I not a liar?" Chen Ping sneered. When Gu Wenshan heard this, he immediately said with a face full of shame, "Mr. Chen, it's the old man Meng Lang. I don't know how he offended Mr. Chen. I hope Mr. Chen will not care about it and can save the old man's life." Gu Wenshan's attitude is very sincere, and his face is sincerely begging Chen Ping. Seeing this, Lin Tianhu also said to Chen Ping, "Mr. Chen, Gu has no intention of offending, and I hope that Mr. Chen will help Gu, and we will still be able to use ancient places in the future." Lin Tianhu's meaning is obvious, that is, Juyi Hall is developing in Hongcheng, and there is still a place where Gu Wenchen can be used. Now that Chen Ping is helping Gu Wenchen, it can be regarded as helping Tianlong Hall himself. In the future, as long as Mr. Chen has a place where he can get the old man, I'm bound to. Gu Wenchen expresses his position quickly. Seeing this, Chen Ping nodded and said, I'll help you kill these resentful dragons. With that said, Chen Ping walked to the dragon chair, and suddenly pressed a hand on the head of a dragon. Then a strange scene happened. I saw that the carved dragon started to glow with a faint golden light. Then a dragon roar sounded, and the sound was very miserable. Lin Tianhu and Gu Wenchen were both shocked. They saw that under the golden light, the 9 dragons all moved, and then they all rose into the air. The 9 dragons exuded black energy and stared furiously. Chen Ping, it seems that Chen Ping ruined their good things. In an instant, the entire hall was enveloped in black air, and Lin Tianhu and Gu Wenchen suddenly had difficulty breathing. Several 100-year-old trees in the yard also seemed to sense something, and they started to move automatically without wind, and the leaves clattered into a ball. Lin Tianhu and Gu Wenchen stared at the giant dragon in stunned eyes. Especially Gu Wenchen, his whole body was soaked wet. This is the dragon chair he sits on every day, there is such an evil thing in it, thinking about it makes me feel scared. A few broken dragons, who have transformed into resentment, dare to go wild. Chen Ping's expression was indifferent, and he saw that he flicked his hands, and the golden light instantly disappeared into the bodies of those giant dragons. Immediately afterwards, another dragon roar sounded, and several giant dragons disappeared, turning into a cloud of black air, shrouded in Chen Ping. Chen Ping opened his mouth and inhaled suddenly, all the black air was sucked into his stomach by Chen Ping. In an instant, calm was restored in the hall. The concentration technique taught by Lao Longtu is really a good thing, and it can even refine grievances. Chen Ping was overjoyed. In addition to refining spiritual energy, this condensing heart art can be refined into its own strength, whether it is resentment or anger. Just now that these grievances were over, Chen Ping could feel that his strength had improved a lot. After a while, Gu Wenchen woke up from the shock, and hurriedly stepped forward and bowed to Chen Ping. Thank you, Mr. Chen, for saving your life, I will never forget it. You're welcome, you and I each ask what we need. Chen Ping waved his hand. This resentment is absorbed and refined, which is more effective than Chen Ping's practice for 10 days and a half months. Gu Wenchen was stunned for a moment. He didn't understand what Chen Ping meant, but he didn't dare to ask in detail. After all, for an immortal like Chen Ping, many things were incomprehensible to ordinary people. Mr. Chen, then this dragon chair. Gu Wenchen looked at the dragon chair and asked carefully. Now this dragon chair has become an ordinary chair, and it has no other use except to satisfy your psychology, but it is a few ancient trees in the yard, you need to take care of them carefully, they are yours to prolong your life and strengthen your body. The foundation of fitness. Chen Ping looked at a few ancient trees outside and said. It's a pity that this kind of ancient tree can't be transplanted, otherwise Chen Ping really wanted to get a few to go to the top of Panlong Bay, the aura emanating from this ancient tree can just help him cultivate. Okay, I will definitely send someone to take good care of those ancient trees. In addition, I will find the spiritual pen and cinnabar that Mr. Chen needs. I will find it for Mr. Chen. I am very familiar with the true master of Lei Ming Guan. Gu Wenchen said. Then thank you Gu. Chen Ping nodded, it's getting late, I'm going back too. Chen Ping looked at the time, it was almost noon, and he was going home for dinner. If Mr. Chen doesn't dislike it, then have a light meal here, and I will order someone to prepare it. Gu Wenchen asked cautiously. The current Gu Wenchen, who has long admired Chen Ping's 5 bodies, wants to find a chance to curry favor with Chen Ping. Chen Ping looked at Gu Wenchen's expression and nodded, that would be annoying the ancients. Don't bother, don't bother. Gu Wenchen was overjoyed, and immediately ordered people to start preparing meals. In Hongcheng Hospital, Xiao Lei's arm has been bandaged, and Geng Shanshan is taking care of him. This Chen Ping, when I get better, I will kill him." Xiao Lei roared, venting the anger in his heart. He interrupted his arm, disturbed his wedding, and made the Xiao family a laughing stock in Hongcheng. He couldn't swallow this breath. "Brother Lei, don't be angry. I asked Fu Wei to find someone to clean up Chen Ping. This time, he was looking for Lian Jiazi, and he will definitely beat Chen Ping to half-death," Geng Shanshan said while peeling the orange. If it wasn't for the Sui family to block, Chen Ping would have died a long time ago. Xiao Lei gritted his teeth, his eyes were full of cold light. He took the peeled oranges by Geng Shanshan and threw them into his mouth. At this moment, Geng Shanshan's phone rang. After connecting, Geng Shanshan's expression changed quickly, and then she hung up the phone. "Who?" Xiao Lei asked. Fu Wei called. He said they were beaten by Chen Ping, and Fu Wei's arm was also broken. Geng Shanshan frowned. What exactly did Chen Ping learn in 3 years in prison? How did he become? Can you fight like that? Trash, it's your classmates' trash. What kind of trainers and trash they can find, it seems that I have to find it myself. Xiao Lei was even more angry at this time. Looking at Geng Shanshan in front of him, he pulled over and ripped off his clothes. "Ah! Brother Lei!" Geng Shanshan screamed, "This is in the hospital ward." Xiao Lei doesn't care about that, he needs to vent his anger, but when he was about to vent, he found that he couldn't do anything. Xiao Lei panicked. He didn't understand what was wrong with him. Could it be that if his arm was broken, other places would also be affected? "Lei! Brother Lei, are you too nervous?" Geng Shanshan asked cautiously. Cough cough. At this time, Xiao Yan walked in and saw his son following Geng Shanshan. His face flushed and he coughed twice. Xiao Lei was startled, and Geng Shanshan was so scared that she quickly put on her clothes. "It's just bullshit, your arm is broken, can you be so bullshit?" Xiao Yan reprimanded Xiao Lei. Xiao Lei lowered his head, but his eyes were full of anger and said, "Dad, I want that Chen Ping to die, I will let him die." Xiao Lei blamed himself on Chen Ping's head at this time. He broke his arm and caused this. In fact, Chen Ping did it, but he didn't break his arm, but when he was in the Geng family, Chen Ping directly disabled Xiao Lei's ability to be a man. "Don't worry about this, just take good care of the injury. I want to investigate that Chen Ping." Lin Tianhe didn't even move him. "I want to see if there is any power behind this kid." Although Xiao Yan was also angry, he was still not confused. He knew that Lin Tianhe would not move Chen Ping, there must be a reason. "Dad, that kid. Shut up for me." Before Xiao Lei could finish speaking, Xiao Yan glared fiercely, so scared that Xiao Lei didn't dare to say anything. "Uncle Xiao, I know Chen Ping too well. There is no background force. We have been together since college. Her father used to be a civil servant." Geng Shanshan sorted out her clothes and said to Xiao Yan. "You know shit." Xiao Yan gave Geng Shanshan a cold look. "Women's opinion, if it weren't for you, Lei wouldn't be what she is now, she's a bum." After Xiao Yan finished speaking, he left immediately. As for the wedding of Xiao Lei and Geng Shanshan, Xiao Yan was actually against it. After all, the two families were not in the same household. Xiao Lei insists on marrying her. Geng Shanshan's face turned red and white when she was scolded by Xiao Yan, but she didn't dare to refute a word. "If you want to marry into a wealthy family, this is the price. This dead Chen Ping, I will never spare him." After Xiao Yan left, Geng Shanshan gritted her teeth. She didn't dare to do anything to Xiao Yan and Xiao Lei, so she could only blame Chen Ping. The Gu family's house, Gu Wenchen, Lin Tianhe, and Chen Ping were enjoying the wine, and they were quite happy to eat this meal. The servants on the side looked at Chen Ping's young age, and sat with the two big figures in Hongcheng, chatting and laughing, all of them were envious. "Mr. Chen, today is just a light meal. Tomorrow I will hold a feast at the Regal Hotel, and invite people from Hongchen's two political and business terms to participate. I want to introduce Mr. Chen in person. Gu Wenchen said with a proud face. Gu Wenchen's intention was obvious, it was to pave the way for Chen Ping. After this banquet, I was afraid that no one in Hongcheng would dare to provoke Chen Ping. Chen Ping wants to refuse, he doesn't want to be too public, he just wants to cultivate and wait for the arrival of July 15th. But Chen Ping still didn't say anything. Lin Tianhu said, then I have to thank Gu Gu on behalf of Mr. Chen. With Gu Gu's introduction, it will be much more convenient for Mr. Chen to work in Hongcheng. Chen Ping saw that Lin Tianhu agreed for him, so he didn't say anything, but nodded slightly, old and polite. After the three exchanged a few more words, Chen Ping and Lin Tianhu left. Palace Master, this subordinate has just agreed to the invitation for the Palace Master, and I hope that the Palace Master will not blame him. Although our Tianlong Temple's Jiatang Kao has developed rapidly and our power has continued to expand, we are still unable to move an inch when we leave Hongcheng. There are still a lot of forces staring at Hongcheng, so we can only continue to strengthen our network. In the car, Lin Tianhu whispered to Chen Ping to explain. Chen Ping was slightly taken aback. Aren't you the Emperor of the Earth in Hongcheng? Is there anyone who dares to oppose you? Chen Ping didn't understand that Lin Tianhu was a god in Hongcheng. Except for politicians, who would dare to provoke Lin Tianhu? After hearing this, Lin Tianhu said with embarrassment on his face, Palace Master, that's just being touted by ordinary people. In addition to our Zhuyi Hall, there are also the Along Gang and Xingyu cult in the entire Hongcheng, and the small forces are not counted. By the way, we Jiatang and the Along Gang are deadly enemies, and there will be fights every year, and each other will hurt each other, but Feng Sihai, the leader of the Along Gang, doesn't know where to learn the hard Qigong, and I'm afraid that he is not his opponent now. Chen Ping looked at Lin Tianhu, and he could see that Lin Tianhu's life in these years was not particularly good. In the eyes of outsiders, the scenery is just an appearance. People like them are in danger at any time. If someone troubles you, just find me directly. Chen Ping said lightly. Since Jiatang is his subordinate, of course Chen Ping can't ignore it. Lin Tianhu was overjoyed, with the words of the Hall Master, I am not afraid of anything. When the Hall Master comes forward, the ghosts and gods will give way, not to mention a mere Feng Sihai. Lin Tianhu was shocked when he saw Chen Ping destroy the 9 resentful dragons today, and he fell into the ground in admiration. Chen Ping smiled, he didn't think that Lin Tianhu's flattering skills were not bad. After Chen Ping returned home, his parents were not at home, so he should have gone out for a walk again. In such an environment, it would be better to go out more. No one bothered, Chen Ping practiced in the room. He has to hurry up to cultivate now, because he doesn't know what he will face on July 15th. Although the old dragon said that that day will give him a big opportunity, who knows whether this opportunity will be accompanied by danger. Sitting cross-legged, silently reciting the condensed heart formula, Chen Ping's Danshan began to slowly rotate, and the surrounding aura was slowly absorbed by Chen Ping and entered Chen Ping's body. There was nothing to eat for dinner, so Chen Ping practiced for another night. Call. When Chen Ping opened his eyes, a cloud of turbid air spewed out of his mouth. I never thought that the power of this resentful dragon would be so powerful. Chen Ping clenched his fist lightly, feeling the strong power in his body. Chen Ping actually broke through. Now Chen Ping has reached the 5th level of Qi training. You must know that he has been in prison for 3 years and has the guidance of the old leader, and he has only broken through to the 4th level of Qi training. Breaking through to the 5th floor, Chen Ping was overjoyed. Chen Ping seems to have found a way to cultivate quickly. As long as he absorbs some resentment and hatred, the speed of cultivation will increase exponentially. It's a pity that this kind of thing is hard to come by. Where can I find so many things with resentment and hatred? Taking a breath, Chen Ping got off the bed and simply tidied up his clothes. Is it Miss Su? I can't see it, but I can hear you walking. At this time, Tang Hongying's voice came from the living room outside. Auntie, you are really amazing. Suyuki smiled, don't always yell like a young lady, it's more common, just call me Yuki. That's right, you're out, so I'll call you Yuki. Tang Hongying smiled and nodded again and again, you're here to find Chen Ping, right? He's still in the bedroom. Chen Ping, hurry up, Yuki is here for you. Tang Hongying shouted towards Chen Ping's bedroom. Auntie, don't shout, I'll call him. Suyuki said, and walked straight to Chen Ping's bedroom. Tang Hongying almost jumped up in excitement when she heard Suyuki walking towards Chen Ping's bedroom. This kid also tricked me into being an ordinary friend. Will ordinary friends go directly to the bedroom? I really want to see what my future daughter-in-law looks like. Tang Hongying muttered to herself. Wife, let me tell you, Miss Su's appearance, I am afraid that the whole Hongcheng is not so beautiful. Chen Baoqiu walked to Tang Hongying's ear and whispered. Really? Tang Hongying was a little surprised. She knew that Chen Baoqiu was very picky. When Chen Ping and Geng Shanshan were together, Chen Baoqiu was resolutely opposed. Now that Chen Baoqiu can say that, then Suyuki's appearance must not be picky. My son is so talented. He just came out and found such a girlfriend, and he was hiding it from us. Tang Hongying looked proud. Of course, don't look at who the son is with, if there is me in front, our son will be no worse. Chen Baoqiu was also very satisfied with Chen Ping at this time. His gloomy face before was now wearing a smile all day long. Okay, don't blow it, take me out for a walk, and leave a two-person world for the two children. Tang Hongying said, dragging Chen Baoqiu out of the villa. On the other side, Suyuki pushed the door and walked into Chen Ping's bedroom. When she saw Chen Ping standing under the bed in complete clothes, Suyuki was stunned. Didn't you already get up? Why, you don't want me to get up, do you want to see me take off my clothes? Chen Ping said half-jokingly. Bah, who sees the way you take off your clothes? Suyuki rolled her eyes at Chen Ping, but she was still a little excited. Chen Ping was able to joke with her, which proved that the relationship between the two had obviously improved a lot. I have something to do with you, come with me. Suyuki dragged Chen Ping away involuntarily. Chen Ping wanted to ask where to go, but Suyuki directly pulled Chen Ping into the car. But looking at the time, it was still too early for Gu Wenchen to invite him to the banquet, so Chen Ping let Suyuki take him away. Tianyuan Mall, this is a very famous shopping mall in Hongcheng, almost all major brands have it. Seeing Suyuki bring herself here, Chen Ping was a little surprised. Do you want me to go shopping with you? Chen Ping asked timidly. You must know that it is a very scary thing to accompany a girl to the mall. Chen Ping once felt it. Back then, he accompanied Geng Shanshan to the mall for a day, and he already had a psychological shadow. Why, are you not willing to accompany me? Suyuki looked at Chen Ping and asked. That's not it. Chen Ping shook his head. In fact, Chen Ping was a little proud to accompany Suyuki to the shopping mall. How to say Suyuki's identity and appearance are all first class. How many people can accompany such a girl to the shopping mall? People are envious, but Chen Ping has something to do at noon. He has already promised Gu Wenchen that he can't let other people's pigeons go. I still have something to do at noon, I'm afraid it will be delayed. Chen Ping said truthfully. I don't care about you, the main task now is to accompany me to go shopping. After Suyuki finished speaking, she dragged Chen Ping into the mall. Looking at the dazzling array of products, Suyuki dragged Chen Ping to find the men's clothing area, and then gestured on Chen Ping's body one by one. Are you going to buy me clothes? Chen Ping was a little surprised. I won't buy it for you, who will I buy it for? I can't fit the clothes in my house anymore. Suyuki said, her hands were not idle, she picked one by one, and finally picked out a suit and put it in Chen Ping's hand. Go try it. Chen Ping held the suit and didn't move for a while, and Suyuki urged, what? Let me go in and try it on for you. No. Chen Ping hurriedly shook his head and hurried into the fitting room. Seeing Chen Ping so frightened, Suyuki laughed, and the tenderness in her eyes became more and more obvious. When Chen Ping changed his clothes and came out, Suyuki's eyes suddenly lit up, looking at Chen Ping up and down, looking a little surprised. I didn't think that your potential is so great. Wearing this dress, you are obviously much more handsome. Seeing Suyuki's narcissistic appearance, Chen Ping couldn't help but also looked in the mirror, and found that he was really handsome. Since he was in prison to practice with the old leader, Chen Ping's material requirements have become less and less. Now that he is out of prison, although he has money, he still wears the old clothes he used to wear. He has never thought about changing his clothes. He has time to buy clothes, so he might as well practice for a while. What are you going to do with me? To the wedding? Chen Ping asked Suyuki. Don't worry about it, this is more important than a wedding. Suyuki took Chen Ping to buy shoes and a watch, and directly dressed Chen Ping into a tall, rich, and handsome look. As soon as he came, he was at peace. Chen Ping could only helplessly be dragged around by Suyuki, and Chen Ping had more and more things on his body. Ties, belts, and even a lighter. Suyuki spent tens of thousands of yuan to buy one for Chen Ping. As far as Chen Ping's outfit is concerned, I'm afraid there are hundreds of thousands who can't come down. Isn't that a bit too extravagant? Chen Ping was wearing this outfit and felt that he didn't dare to walk. He couldn't understand what rich people like Suyuki thought. What was the point of buying a suit of clothes for hundreds of thousands and a lighter for tens of thousands of dollars? What's so extravagant about this? You used to wear it too shabby. I won't let you wear it like that in the future, or I will be laughed at. Suyuki said lightly. But after speaking, Suyuki suddenly felt as if she had said something wrong, and her face instantly turned red. And Chen Ping also heard it and smiled slightly. I wear shabby clothes, why would anyone laugh at you? When Chen Ping asked, Suyuki's face turned even redder, so she could only glared at Chen Ping and said, I have said in public that I want to be your girlfriend, of course others take it seriously. You dressed shabby, didn't you just slap me in the face? I won't tell you, I'll go to the bathroom, you're here waiting for me. Suyuki made an excuse and left quickly. Chen Ping smiled and stood there waiting for Suyuki. After seeing Chen Ping, many girls who passed by turned their eyes back unknowingly. There were even several who came to chat with him and asked for contact information, but Chen Ping rejected him. At this time, on the other side of the mall, Geng Shanshan and Zhang Wenjing also came to visit the mall. Yesterday, Geng Shanshan was scolded for her wholeheartedness, so she plans to buy today to make herself feel better. Shanshan, look quickly, there's a handsome guy standing across from him, you'll be fascinated by looking at the back. Zhang Wenjing said to Geng Shanshan with some excitement. When Geng Shanshan heard Zhang Wenjing's words, she hurriedly looked up, and she saw a tall boy wearing a suit, standing straight across from him. Just by looking at the back, he could feel the noble temperament of the boy. Stop being a backkill, right? Geng Shanshan said in a low voice. Impossible, I can feel it, this must be a handsome guy. Shanshan, you already have young Master Xiao, and this handsome guy will be handed over to me. After Zhang Wenjing finished speaking, she walked over impatiently. Geng Shanshan was also curious and hurriedly followed. Handsome guy, are you waiting for someone? Zhang Wenjing stepped forward, patted the boy on the shoulder and asked. But when the boy turned around, Zhang Wenjing and Geng Shanshan were all stunned on the spot. Chen Ping, why are you? Zhang Wenjing said in surprise. Geng Shanshan was also full of shock. She had been with Chen Ping for several years, and she had never met Chen Ping before. It seemed that people really depend on clothes and horses on saddles. Why can't it be me? Chen Ping said with a cold smile when he saw Geng Shanshan and Zhang Wenjing. How can you come to this mall? The things here are very expensive. Zhang Wenjing said with a puzzled face. The things in this mall are very expensive. Ordinary people have no conditions to come. In Zhang Wenjing's eyes, Chen Ping's family conditions are not even ordinary enough. How can he come to this mall, and the clothes on him seem to be worth not cheap? Is the mall opened by your house? I can come if I want. Chen Ping unceremoniously choked Zhang Wenjing, and immediately choked Zhang Wenjing to the point of speechlessness. Chen Ping, as far as you are virtuous, even if a toad wears a dragon robe, how can you not become a dragon? I don't know where to buy cheap goods, come here to pretend to be a girl, bah! Geng Shanshan spat fiercely at Chen Ping. Whether he can become a dragon is not something you slut can say. Before Chen Ping could speak, Suyuki came over with a bit of coldness on her face. Wipe off your shit for me. Suyuki pointed at Geng Shanshan's spit on Chen Ping's clothes and said. Seeing that it was Suyuki, Geng Shanshan flinched a bit in her eyes. Compared with Suyuki, what is she, Geng Shanshan, who is the richest lady in Hongcheng? But in front of so many people in the mall, they called her a slut and asked her to clean Chen Ping's clothes. Of course Geng Shanshan was not happy. You, don't be so mean, don't bully people just because you are the eldest miss of the Sui family. Geng Shanshan tried her best to keep her momentum. I told you to wipe it off, can't you hear it? You said that if I slap you twice now, would Xiao Lei dare to find me? The momentum on Suyuki's body obviously suppressed Geng Shanshan, causing Geng Shanshan's body to shake slightly. Geng Shanshan knew that Suyuki beat her for nothing, and Xiao Lei would not follow the Sui family for her. Chen Ping looked at Geng Shanshan like that, the corner of his mouth was slightly raised, and he sneered without saying a word. I'll wipe, I'll wipe. Seeing this, Zhang Wenjing hurriedly took out a tissue, wanting to replace Geng Shanshan and wipe it off for Chen Ping. What are you? Can you touch my boyfriend too? Suyuki directly pushed Zhang Wenjing away. Zhang Wenjing's face flushed with embarrassment, but she didn't dare to let go of a fart. Geng Shanshan didn't dare to provoke Suyuki, and she didn't dare.